It cracked when he was nervous. It shook when he answered questions. It disappeared completely when he needed it most. So when it changed, he thought he was imagining it. It happened on a crowded subway. He bumped into a tall man in a business suit. Their eyes met. "Sorry," Ethan muttered. But the voice that came out wasn't his. It was deep, smooth, confident. The man's confident expression instantly shifted to panic. He opened his mouth. What came out was Ethan's thin, shaky voice. The subway fell silent between them. They stared at each other. "What did you do?" the man whispered, in Ethan's voice. Ethan ran. At home, he locked himself in his room and tried speaking again. "Hello?" His normal voice returned. He convinced himself it was stress, until it happened again. At school, a classmate mocked him during a presentation. Ethan looked up, directly into the boy's eyes, and said, "Stop." The word echoed through the room in a strong, commanding tone, not his. The bully froze, then tried to speak. Only silence came out. Pure, terrifying silence. Gasps filled the classroom. The teacher rushed forward. The boy clawed at his throat. No sound. Ethan felt something shift inside his chest, like a click. The voice hadn't switched. It had been taken. That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. He replayed the moment over and over. Eye contact, speech, swap, or steal. The next morning, news spread. The boy still couldn't talk. Doctors were confused. Ethan avoided everyone's gaze. He kept his head down in hallways. He stayed silent at dinner. But curiosity is louder than fear. That weekend, he tested it again. At a grocery store, he made eye contact with a cashier and said, "Thank you." Her soft voice became his. His voice became hers. She blinked in shock, then spoke again. The voices switched back. Temporary. Relief washed over him. So why had the bully lost his voice permanently? That's when Ethan noticed something else. It wasn't random. It depended on intent. When he spoke calmly, voices swapped. When he spoke with anger, with a desire to silence, they stayed. He wasn't just swapping. He was deciding. Days passed. He experimented carefully. He spoke like singers, teachers, strangers on the street. It felt powerful, addictive. For the first time, people listened when he spoke. They turned their heads. They respected the sound. But something else began happening. He started hearing whispers, late at night, faint echoes of voices he'd swapped with, inside his head, as if they never fully left. Then came the message. A handwritten note slipped into his locker. "You're not the only one." His heart pounded. That afternoon, while walking home, he felt someone watching him. Across the street stood a girl about his age. She looked directly at him, didn't blink. "Try it," she said, calmly. Her voice didn't change. Ethan swallowed. "You first." The moment he spoke, her voice shifted. But so did his. Not swapped, merged. A layered echo of two tones at once. She smiled. "You're still learning," she said, now speaking in his voice while he spoke in hers. "There are rules." He stepped back. "What rules?" She tilted her head. "You can only steal what someone is willing to give, or what you force them to lose." Cold realization crept through him. You took someone's voice forever. It wasn't a question. Ethan couldn't answer, because suddenly he couldn't speak. Panic surged. He tried again. Nothing. The girl walked closer.
"You felt powerful," she said, gently. "Now you know what silence feels like." His own voice echoed inside her. She leaned closer. "Next time you want to be heard," she whispered, "earn it." Then she turned and walked away. And just like that, Ethan's voice returned, weak, shaking, his own. For the first time in his life, he didn't hate it, because he understood something now. A voice isn't power, it's responsibility. And some sounds aren't meant to be stolen.